now we're on Mercury. You can see Mercury going out of control right here. And it's actually a little bit farther ahead. We started looking at Mercury about 2 weeks ago. It's all the way up there, about 14 days ago. Now it's almost near Earth. Alright, here's the elliptic plane. The sun been blocking us from 17 to 21. This whole thing, from this spot all the way over. You can see the elliptic plane. Alright, the gravitational pull is pulling at our sun. When we get into summer, and we're up here, we're going to see some intense solar flares. This is where all the solar flares are happening. It's right behind the sun, right over here. Now it's going to be on the limb. It's going to be able to reach. That's why we've seen that solar flare reach to us. That's the X-class that erupted today. You see it erupting right there. That's within the solar stream. Now watch this. And earlier before, this was all pink. Not even about an hour ago. So they downgraded it. And the reach of that was way farther. That was a big actual solar eruption. That's the M-class that just hit us today. So I got warnings and watches. Alright, now let's look at this. This is Mercury. Mercury's picking up control. It's spinning out of control. This thing was in the gravitational pull from the start. Then all of a sudden, right here, 2 weeks ago, just started losing control when that super solar flare nailed it out of its orbit. Now we're seeing Venus picking up speed. Venus might be the next one. I'm really worried about us Earth. Alright, as we move on, we see the gravitational pull. It's pulling at our Earth. Alright, right now the gravitational pull from the sun should be more intense than what they are, what they're showing us. On radar, they should be all pink. Alright, what's happening with that is that all these solar flares they see getting erupted out here is going within the storm. You see how they just intensify. Alright, because it's getting pulled back by the elliptic plane. That's why we didn't see no solar flare about 2 weeks ago for like a whole month straight after 12/21/2012. Alright, but that was the date of the beginning of the central galactic plane. And we're going to be in this storm for a minute, folks. It took thousands of years for us to get there. It's going to take us at least a couple years to get back out. Alright, but I do got warnings and watches for these cities for today, for the 9th, and don't forget about the 14th and 16th. With the asteroid 2012 DA14 going right through the Van Allen radiation belt where all our satellites are. Alright, if this asteroid comes in charge, it might disrupt our radiation belt and could cause geomagnetic storm. It also could black out all the satellites. That's why they shot up the other satellite. And they will use anything to gain more momentum, the New World Order. So they might use that. If there's a black, I made a video right about that. But I'm pulling warnings and watches first out on these cities. Alright. Paris, Boston, Heidelberg, Strasbourg. Alright. Also, warnings and watches for London, San Francisco, Versailles, and Melbourne. All the way up to the 16th, folks. Warnings and watches. These are the countries: the United States, Wales, Belgium, and Turkey, Greece, Crete, and the West Indies. Alright, but expect on those dates, on today, the 9th, or the 14th through the 16th, expect major change. Just like today we see in the Solomon Islands. And that's not just it. Let's get to the TEC map. Here's the ionospheres map, where it's the weakest at, where all the solar radiation is coming through. Alright, right over here, around Papua New Guinea, Indonesia, Solomon Islands, the Canarian Islands, that's what people are calling them. It's the Solomon Islands, folks, Fiji, alright, all the way up to Japan. Alright, and it's reaching all the way through the bottom part of the Pacific, the middle part, touching Chile, where that earthquake was, up here by Colombia, Venezuela. Alright, now let's see the TEC map. The TEC map is for solar electrons, and also you can see it from Haarp. Alright. This is the TEC map. I think that's as close as we can. Let's zoom in. Alright. The Solomon Islands. You can see where the pinpoint pressure is. That's why you see that 8.0 earthquake in the surrounding 7. That's where all that pressure is. But don't get me wrong. Within this whole area, you can see an 8.8 to 7. It just, how strong is the foundation in the plates. Alright, the plates are loose. It only takes less pressure to move, but the plates are tight. And we've been seeing a lot of activity, so I want to question if the plates were tight there, because a lot of land is moving, so it sticks in place. With all that pressure release, let's zoom back in. Sorry about that, folks. With all that pressure release, I'm thinking right now the plates are safe, but they're not. Alright, the Earth is getting pulled in 2 different directions. That's how we're going to see a polar shift from this thing. Alright, you see all that energy. Alright, it's getting pulled back by the central galactic plane. Alright, that's the elliptic plane. It's getting all pulled back that way. That's why our solar flares ain't going nothing. This is what really worries about. This is all pink right now. If there's a solar eruption, a solar flare eruption, and this thing was coming by, and they both met at the same time, alright, it would cause a pole shift. Alright, folks, it would cause a pole shift. Alright. Also, when this line of gravitational pull from the sun is coming right by, it should only be green like this, lightish blue, shouldn't be pink or red. That's from all the solar flares just sitting in there, all the solar radiation. Alright, it's a magnetic field itself. Alright, that's trapped. And it's powerful. All you need is a reversal. It's pulling our Earth apart. That's why our inner cores are pulling apart. That's why we're seeing a lot of earthquakes, definitely in the Pacific. The plate's destroyed over there, the Australian plate. Alright, folks. Now, on the Haarp site, alright, when you go to the official Haarp site, there ain't no activities on none of the equipment there. But I'm gonna bring up more up to date in the past few days. China, Russia, a lot of other countries got Haarp too. Alright, so I'm just expecting one of those to be active, because right now in the northeast, alright, it's red. It's at 8. Between 8 and 9. Alright, this could be a major storm or a major earthquake all the way down. Yellow severe too, folks. So around the eastern part of the Great Lakes, the northeast, a little bit of the south, I'm putting warnings and watches for a major storm, major earthquake for the next week. It's starting to get intensifying over here. We're going to see maybe small storms, severe storms, but a lot of moisture is going to come on land. Alright, it's up and done. The major earthquake from Haarp warning that I had out for the west coast of the United States of America, we made it. 20% made it, folks. Alright, but I still got warnings and watches for major earthquakes, volcanoes, and storms from all the solar activity. And plus, also, we're entering the central galactic plane, and now they got Haarp back over it. Alright, let's move on to RSOE. Alright, so I got warnings and watches for, of course, 2012 DA14. We are also seeing Comet Lemon in the southern hemisphere. Alright, I want people to out there do some more research. I'm just calling it a comet until I do some more research. But that's what it sounds like Nibiru is. You know what I'm saying? Nibiru did actually went by us in around December the 21st, for real. This ain't no joke. Alright, just go check out that video. I got all the proof that you need for that. But this time it's lighting up. Alright? But it actually looks like a sun or something. It looks brighter than just a comet. And you're going to see, if you see Nibiru, you're going to see in the southern hemisphere first. Then we see Ison later on this year. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm just calling it a comet. Alright, let's get to major earthquakes. I'm on volcano activity. February the 5th, 2013, state of California, Long Valley Cauldron. January the 4th, 2013, Japan, Kiki Cauldron. I got warnings and watches for these double zeros. State of Wyoming. Alright. That's the Yellowstone Cauldron. Let me zoom out for a second, folks. That's the Yellowstone Cauldron. Alright. I think I got warnings and watches for this. Island Park Cauldron in the state of Idaho. There's no tropical cyclone, but they're hiding one. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. We had a volcano eruption on January the 3rd, 2013. I already brought you a video on that. Let's get to this amazing, all these amazing earthquakes right now happening in the Pacific Ocean around the Solomon Islands. 5.1 Solomon Island, 5.1 Solomon Island, 2.5 United States, 4.7 Atlantic Ocean, Argentina on top of volcano. Remember, I put warnings and watches out for that too. 4.7 Argentina on top of volcano. 2.0 Alaska. A 2.0 Europe on top of volcano. 2.2 North America, California. 2.2 North America, Washington State. 3.5 United States, California. 3.5 United States, California. 3.1. That's on a super volcano. They're not talking about that. 2.3 Canada, British Columbia. 6.3 Solomon Island. This is where we start off. 6.0 Solomon Island. 4.2 Chile on top of volcano. 5.3 Solomon Island. 5.3 Solomon Island. 4.6 Indonesia. 4.6 Indonesia. 8.0 Solomon Island. 7.4 Solomon Island. 5.6 Solomon Island. That one was on top of volcano. Alright, that 7.4 was on top of volcano, so I believe that 8.8 was on top of volcano too. 5.6 Solomon Island. 6.4 Solomon Island. 6.5 Solomon Island. 5.6 Solomon Island. 5.6 Solomon Island. 5.7 Solomon Island. 5.7 Solomon Island. You'd think it would have went down, right? Nope. Like at least to 4 or 5. Not still up by 6.6 Solomon Island. These are all on top of volcanoes. 6.6 Solomon Island. 5.2 Solomon Island. 5.2 Solomon Island. 5.2 Solomon Island. 5.3 Solomon Island. Now that reach is hitting the coast. Alright, you got 2.6 United States, Hawaii on top of volcano. 2.0 North America, United States, Alaska. Alright, this reach is going to be fire and grass. Alright, folks, this is breaking news. You got some, we already know about the tsunami warnings and watches. And I can't quite, it's 33, it's pretty shallow. So we might see a tsunami. Alright, and the warnings would be around the Hawaiian region. Alright, I can't say there's a tsunami or not right now, folks. So I got warnings and watches. But this should be breaking news all over the world. Alright, check this out in part 2.